Is there any questions that you get really fed up of being asked in interviews?
If my real name is Adele, which it is,
Sure,
but
yeah.
every interview I get asked that question. To a point now, I just think, should I just change my name to Adele to get rid of that question?
Quite a philosophical question now. What do you think makes a great song? Do you reckon there's like a components to it, or is it just something that comes very like it's hard to give a definition of?
I mean, there's definitely blocks that I'll swear by. I mean, melody always comes first for me. So I'd say melody for sure, that has to be there. And then obviously like a clever lyric or something that is poignant lyrically is really important for me. But then there is this kind of mysterious element to it where you just get these songs where everything comes together so perfectly and there's a magic that you're not sure where it comes from. So there's parts that you have control over, but I'd say that little magic element, it usually comes from the vibe of the people in the room, the conversations you've had leading up to making the song, how you feel emotionally. And it's almost like when you're cooking, you just want to put just enough salt in and just enough heat and just enough time. And when you get everything aligned, that's just the best feeling in the world. And to be honest, it gets quite addictive trying to get that feeling, because it doesn't always come, but when it does, like it's so euphoric.
Yeah, and how important are those like conversations and collaborations? What are the big things that come out of those sort of conversations?
I mean, for me, conversation has been so important to all my music, especially the first album, because I made it with a producer called Naughty Boy, who, we're just great friends. And we would just speak, it'd be 1 a.m., 2 a.m., we'd just still be talking. And usually it would get quite spiritual and, the mysteries of life. And he's Muslim, and just learning more about his religion and just exploring kind of the deep unknowns. That's usually when we get songs coming out, because you enter territories of discussion that you might not usually do. So when we go there, and usually like for example Heaven, which was my first single, came from one of those kind of conversations about trying to keep your heart clean. So yeah, usually we go pretty deep.
If you could expand on that, particularly with the world's attention on sort of the Black Lives Matter movement at the moment, what positive changes do you think is going to take place in the music industry?
Well, the one positive change that I'm seeing now is just that there is a discussion about it. I think for a long time, especially in the UK, it's been quite a taboo subject. We'll kind of touch the kind of edges of it. And we have, obviously there's Black History Month, which just, it's not long enough to really go into the depths of Black history. So I think opening this discussion and also getting to more of the subtleties and intricacies of racism, because it's not often as in your face as people expect. And I think a lot of people don't understand that there are very subtle ways to be racist, and you can be racist without really knowing you are. So I think that's where we need to begin, and I'm happy that discussions in that lane have begun. And I just hope that the industry can become more inclusive, to all races, and can allow people of color, brown people, to not only be one stereotype. That's something I really miss in the music industry. It's wonderful, the music that is coming out, but I think there's so many different colors and kind of spectrums of what people of color can give, and I hate to see people kind of boxed into one or two genres. So I'd love to see more people of different genres and more people of color kind of being able to express themselves outside of the stereotype boxes.
Exactly, and it makes the music soundscape more interesting to listen to. And sort of, why did you decide that Real Life would be the title track of the album?
Well, I mean, I love the song, and this whole album was me trying to be as honest and really to my fans just say, this is me, this is everything, this is real instrumentation, these are my lyrics. And I think, as I said before, I was in such a transition point in my life where I'd really felt like, wow, I've survived some difficult times, and now I feel like myself again. But before I restart this journey and get back into the music industry properly, I really want to kind of expose myself on all levels. So this is my real life, and regardless of whether I'm getting paid for it or get to have this incredible job, this is the music I would make. So yeah, I just wanted to keep it very simple, real life. And also the song Real Life is about, you know, it's very easy to have friends or partners or colleagues where everything's going well and you're everybody's best friend. But when, you know, when it goes wrong, or not even wrong, but when you're kind of down and out, who's really there? And I think that's a question that I want to ask anyone I'm getting into any kind of relationship with, you know, in real life, who are you? You know, are you willing to kind of really work for this?
What advice would you give to someone starting out in the world of music? Was there any sort of like mantras or anything that someone told you that again you're like, that's really useful? I think other people it'd be useful to sort of hear.
I guess back to kind of trusting yourself. I mean, I think it would be a good idea for anybody stepping into the music industry to make a video for themselves. So that's them talking, you know, this is the date, you're just about to get signed, or you're just about to, you know, step into the industry. And just as a kind of anchor and as a reminder to themselves why they're doing it, who they are before they enter the industry, and what they're capable of. You know, often before you've had any help, you've managed to put out an EP or, you know, put on your own shows. I think it's so important to remember your own power, because when you step into the industry, there will be people that will want to do things for you. And it's wonderful when you have a great team. If you're all in the right direction, it can be absolutely fantastic. But I think it's so important for the artists to remember who they are and what they bring to the table and the power that they have. So yeah, I'd recommend everyone make yourself a video to yourself that you can look back to every year or so, just as a reminder of your own capability.